You're listening to WRPR Rat Pack Radio. Come join the pack. You're listening to Rat Pack Sports Show on WRPR Rat Pack Radio.
Blue, you're my boy! A genius. A man who has a reputation to be the best at what he does.
You see, a man has to realize his limitations. You don't know me, and you don't know what I'm capable of.
That was a heck of an effort.
This house is a prison, and the galaxy of this sucks.
You free enough.
That is over. When I say it is over, I will massacre you.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Are you not entertained?
I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
That's how I roll. Offensive.
Hello? You play to win the game.
There's that drive. Way back. It's complete.
This is my favorite part coming up right now.
All right. Rat Pack Sports Show. We are back. We are live. Rat Pack Radio, WRPR. Streaming online, ratpacksports.com. Also the Rat Pack Radio, WRPR app. We're in the building another week. We're going to bring it to you like we do every week, man. The best is, and hey, I'll say it, sports talking entertainment, because, hey, this is what we do every week. And we're going to have a good show tonight as well. You can find us on Facebook, Rat Pack Sports Show, the group and the like page. You can find us on Podbean, ratpacksportshow.podbean.com. You can also find us on iHeart. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on a multitude of outlets. Spreaker. We are doing a live stream tonight also as well for Bucks Life. And, we're going to same format we always do, man, every week. No different. Just a new way of us communicating out to the listeners and, enjoying the show. And we'll talk a lot of different things. We'll talk, as we do every week, we'll get into wrestling. We'll talk a little bit of basketball as well, because that's what we like to do. We like to talk a little bit of basketball. So we'll get into a whole bunch of things. Because we're on Bucks Life right now, streaming live. We'll also get into some NFL Bucks talk. We should have Boss Hog Sean Naylor on the line with us, at about 10-ish, 10:30-ish. We're going to have Nicholas Lane, Rat Pack Sports Show, NBA Insider on with us, talking a little bit of NBA. And until then, we should have Mr. William Graves, possibly left field correspondent Carlton Cook. And we got some questions already here on the chat. So let's go ahead and start. I know these are a little bit kind of like funny messages here, but let's go ahead and we got a Facebook user. We're just gonna throw this out there. I don't have a name, so we're just gonna throw that out. Facebook user: who wins head-to-head between 93 FSU football team? Who wins head to head between 93 FSU football team or 2013. You mean a 93 FSU football team and against the 2013 team? I'm not betting anything against that 93 squad. I'm not betting anything against that 93 squad. At the time, I was a huge Florida State fan. Grew up a big time Florida State fan, and I was a fan all the way up until South Florida Bulls came upon, and then I became a South Florida Bulls fan. Attended the school, so that's my team. I still watch FSU, but I cannot any longer say that I'm a huge FSU fan. I'll watch them, but I watch more USF football. So, but on the 93 team, you can't, if you're talking about Charlie Ward at a quarterback and some of those guys, I think Amp Lee, Derek Brooks, freshman Ward Dunn, what's the cornerback? Hold on. Corey Sawyer was one of the cornerbacks. William Floyd, I want to say William Floyd might have been on that team. Yeah, I could go back a little bit. But yeah, the user says, I wish I could see the names, but for some reason I can't see the names. But let me see what's going on. I'll get to it later, but I guess in order for me to see the names, you have to connect your Facebook page to the Restream page. So as you guys ask questions, just type your name so I can know who's commenting. I already see somebody commenting in here talking about the Miami Dolphins. So I might know who that person is. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about the Dolphins. But I will say, they did some things, and then they went 5 steps backwards, 10 steps forward, 5 steps backwards with bringing in Hill and then turning around and getting rid of Parker. So I don't understand that. I guess that's a way they do things down there in Miami. Just they've been backwards for a very long time, so they're still looking for a quarterback. Dan Marino retired a long time ago. So, other user says FSU has been for 5+ years now. They've been terrible. FSU has made some really bad moves at the quarterback position. They've made some moves, questionable moves as the head coach. I go out right now and say that they probably messed up by not giving Deion Sanders an opportunity at Florida State. I'll go on record and say that a guy that has that kind of stature, that kind of name behind him, and NFL Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it at his position, and the guy wanted the job. He wanted the job, and at that point, if I'm an alumnus or anybody in the administration up there at FSU, I'm making a call to Deion Sanders. And we're getting him on the phone, and we're gonna talk some things out, because you just got to. You can't do that. And they allowed Deion to get away, and now you see what he's doing up there, where he's at. big things, turn the program around. Really good. And FSU is kind of, been in the dumpsters. So that is how it is right there with them. Um, so tough situation, and we'll see if they can come out of it. I'm not making any bets. Definitely not making any bets. I don't think you know, I don't think FSU is up for the task right now. They got to do a major facelift with that organization. So, it is what it is with that. But let's go. I got some things I want to get into as well. We're on Bucks Report. I mean, well, not Bucks Report. My bad. Bucks Life News. I was on there a while back doing some live shows, but we're on Bucks Life, and so if any of you Bucks Life people come on, you got questions, make sure you type them in, man. I can see everything here on the screen, so just make sure you ask the question that you want, and we'll I'll try my best to answer. Sometimes I get in a little groove, I get in a little rant, and when I get in my rant, I could go on for a little minute. So again, I want to remind the listeners, if you want to increase, if you want your name to be shown, you're gonna have to connect your Facebook to Restream so I can see your name and your profile picture. So I can send. This is how you guys do it. So I'm gonna send this here in the chat, and you guys can do as you wish. So let's see. When it shows your name, image. I guess I got to do all this stuff. So let's I thought I'd done this before, but we're gonna go back and see. It says back to Facebook. I don't want to go back to Facebook, bro. Really? All right, so we'll see how it goes. I didn't want to go back to Facebook, but we'll see how it goes. Just I'll put this link in the chat. You guys can click this link and connect your Facebook with that link right there. So just tap on that link or copy it, paste it. I don't know exactly, how to do that, but you see the link there. Just copy that link, hit that link, and that is the link that will get you your name shown. That is the link that'll get your name shown. So, again, we're gonna have William Graves on. He's gonna be joining us here soon, and also he will be with us for the duration. We're gonna have Nicholas Lane, talking with us on some, NBA. And when he comes in with that, we will get him on, and we'll talk some NBA. A lot of NBA news, a lot of NBA going on right now. We getting close down to the playoffs. Anybody that's new that's watching the stream, we will go all in when we talk NBA. You guys will get a chance to get it in with Nicholas Lane and get his expertise in NBA talk. So until then, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning on the screen. Got some hockey on the screen. And it is 3-2 Washington Capitals. Still in the first period, about a minute left. And hey, go Lightning, right? I mean, we're down the stretch now, getting close to the end of the season. And this is the time where we need to start playing some real good hockey. We're trying to go for that three-peat. Trying to go for that three-peat. Look, if we don't get it, I'm not mad about it. I don't have any problems if we don't go for the three. If we don't get three-peat, I can't be greedy. We've already after some years, we've already been. Look at this. Facebook used Miami Dolphins. I know who this is. I'm not gonna put them out there, but I know who this is. Again, here goes a link for everybody. If you want your name to show up in the chat, you have to connect. You restream to your Facebook page, and I'll be able to see your chat see your name as you type it in. So here we go. There, we got a couple of viewers here. One on Bucks Life. So I want to welcome everybody that's listening and watching over on Bucks Life. You can also listen to us on the Rat Pack Radio WRPR app. If you have Android, you can download the app. It's not on Apple, so if you're on Apple, just download the TuneIn app, and you can listen to us through there. Rat Pack Sports Show, Rat Pack Radio WRPR. So we'll be here every week, man. Just I'm just kind of like rambling on right now, but we'll get into some stuff, and we're gonna get into some stuff right now. So I'd like to go to my source, my source pages here, and yeah. So let me ask you guys, man, how many of you guys watch wrestling? How many of you guys watch WWE or AEW? I'm an AEW guy. Can't get into WWE anymore. Just don't. I don't really dig it like I did before. They're not really, growing the sport as per what I would say from a wrestling standpoint. They're not really growing the sport, and I enjoy seeing, the Brock Lesnar's and the Goldbergs, way back then. But those guys are old. We got to get in some, new blood, and they don't have it. So, and you can see that. That is a Buccaneer sticker. I am broke. So, if anybody want to hook me up, just get me a mug, an actual Buck mug that I don't have to, put a sticker on. That'll be well and appreciated. So, but yeah, so I don't get into WWE as much. I know they just had WrestleMania, and I actually was gonna tune in, and check it out a little bit, but and I do have Peacock, by the way, but I still didn't get into it, still didn't download it. So it's just one of them things where I just think they're old and watered down. We're still living on the past. Now, I'm a huge Sting fan. Sting fan, and being a huge Sting fan, I pretty much watch wrestling when Sting is in the ring. But I like the guys that they have in AEW. They got some young juice there, and they just, bought out, I think it was Ring of Honor. So got in the Ring of Honor a little bit, and I like, what they're starting to do with integrating some of those wrestlers into the AEW program, but still, keeping Ring of Honor going independently, which is something that I thought, Vince McMahon probably should have done when he purchased WCW way back in the early 2000s and didn't do nothing with it, but pretty much shut the company down and, treated all the other wrestlers like, hot garbage. So they, that's where I'm at with that, man. I don't really, I hold a lot of ill will towards Vince McMahon for doing what he did to my guys from WCW. Just did him dirty. He did him dirty, man. And I don't like it. So ever since then, I pretty much got, just pretty much stopped, watching WWE and really didn't watch a whole lot of wrestling. I watched TNA for a little bit and never really got back into WWE. So now with AEW, they just had WrestleMania. They, Cody Rhodes made an appearance, and I didn't like that part because I thought Cody Rhodes should have stayed over in AEW and kept doing his own thing. But it's money over there, and he wanted to be where the money was at. So, but he also built this powerhouse, AEW. He also, built that powerhouse. So with him building that powerhouse, man, he pretty much, did his work and then said, you know what, I'm gonna leave you guys. You're in good hands, and peace out. And that's what he did. And I was like, yeah, he shouldn't have went back there. I would have been happier with him staying, where he was at and just continue to grow the brand. But, you can't always have everything the way you want it when it come down to wrestling. So we're here, man. And again, appreciate. Look at this. Now I didn't see this, so I'm listening. I'm watching here, just checking out the different streams that I'm on, and this thing's actually doing closed caption. I'm looking at a stream from somewhere else, another page, and it's doing auto-generated captions, which is pretty cool. But we don't want captions. I can read clearly. We don't need captions, but appreciate my man Jay for giving me this, platform. I've been in the Bucks Life group for quite a bit now. Talked a lot of Bucks. A lot of people, kind of hate me because I'm a little bit too, open about, how I feel about the team, the Buccaneers, and I'm not afraid to be honest about what I'm saying, even if it goes against like half of the people that's posting. I'm not afraid of that. So I'll stand on the rock by myself. Don't have no problem doing that, and it's just the way it is. But you're gonna get how I feel, my like true opinions. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. If I don't like something, I just say I don't like it, and it is what it is. We can agree to disagree. Some people can hate, they can hate my guts for me, being too open. And I tell, flat out, if a team suck, the team just suck. End of the story. So I'm not afraid to say, we're playing bad. I'm not afraid to say, even in the win, pointing out like negatives. That stuff doesn't bother me. You guys, some of you guys that know me and I've been around, you know how I am, and I just call it like I see it. So at the end of the day, if you don't like it, I really don't care. I mean, that's just being real. We can head over to our website, ratpacksports.com. We're going through some renovations, but it's been a while since I posted articles or anything there. But the website is there for us. We usually post stories pretty often to Rat Pack Sports, especially during football season. We do fantasy football starts and sits every week with Boss Hall Sean Naylor. Nicholas Lane is actually getting ready to do a series, a little article he does every year about Anthony Bennett All-Stars. So it's basically the worst contracts in the league, and he does a top 5 of that every year. He is getting ready to roll that out pretty soon, maybe a few weeks. So can't wait for that. That is something that is very fun and it's just cool to read. My man Nicholas Lane does extensive work on his his NBA. So as you guys, the new people, as you get ready to check it all out, and you'll see we got a lot of different personalities. It's just me right now, but we will have William Graves some days, or most days. He'll be calling in here soon. We'll have Nicholas Lane. He does NBA. Boss Hall Sean Naylor is our NFL fantasy football guy. And then, we have left field correspondent. Some of you guys in the Bucks Life group may know of him. Left field correspondent, Carlton Cook. And then we have the queen of the Rat Pack. I know Bucks Life members may know her as well, Tara Gilpin. And, she don't post as much because she gets a little bit riled up. But that's okay. That's okay. So how we do it here, we usually at the top of the hour, we'll take a little quick break. And I'll play some music. And while we're playing that music, I may keep the live stream going, or I may go dark, doing that. It just all depends, how I feel or what's going on around me. But that's, normally how we do it. And I'll be kind of playing around with this stuff. It's the first time I've kind of, went live with the video. And during the football season, we'll be doing more things with the live feature and get more and more people involved in what we do and questioning and comments and everything like that. So if anybody want to call in, we do have a line that people can call in, the Rat Pack Sports Show hotline. That number is 727-565-1585. And you could just, it's easy to find. You come on, you will go live immediately. I am not screening calls, but if you get out of hand, I will hang up on you. That's just the way it is. I'm not really trying to deal with people that want to come in and be smart aleck about what they got going on. So whatever question you got, I'd be welcome to talk about anything. It could be something completely off topic of what we have going on here. Maybe something that we're talking about. um, I'll be happy to answer any questions, even if it's not about something we're talking about, and you just want to, ask a question because you had a question about something. Feel free. I don't have no problem, answering any questions. So again, um, appreciate everybody that's tuning in, man. Really do. We usually do pretty well. We get a lot of feedback from our podcast downloads, and if you missed anything, you can always go back to Podbean, Rat Pack Sports Show .podbean.com, and you could. I'm gonna throw a link in there too as well for everybody, because literally there's about being real, there's about 8 years worth of downloads on this. So when I'm in a debate or something like that, and somebody wants to say, "Oh, I don't remember you saying that," I could just say, "Oh, you don't remember that?" I'm not gonna search through all this. I give you a general timeline of when I was talking about this, and you could just search it. You can go to the Rat Pack Sports Show, the .podbean.com, and you know, search for it, and you can easily find it. And I'll be happy to reference. Um, I'll be happy to reference, but I'm gonna throw this in there for you guys. So there you go. That's the Podbean link for Rat Pack Sports Show. You can just go in there, find us there. We're also on Spotify as well. You can download our podcast. Everything that uploads from Podbean goes out to Spotify, goes out to iHeart, goes out to multiple outlets where you could, find us through a third party, and you can find us that way. So I may have, let me see here. So I'm gonna let the guys know. Let the guys know I'm gonna drop a link in there for them to join uh the video chat. If they just want to come in with audio, they can easily just call in, and we could do it that way as well. So it's not a big deal either way for me. Um, I'm used to just talking and chatting it up without video. So it's gonna take a little bit, because there's a lot I can do with this video. I could, I could show you guys my screen. If we're really getting into a debate about something, I can share my screen and let you guys see exactly what I'm seeing. So let's say we were in a debate, and I wanted to say, okay, this is where I'm at. I'm gonna just share my screen real quick. This is one of my websites that I go to when I want wrestling. This is where I go at. And if you're a wrestling fan, maybe you already know about this, but you can go here as well. So we can share the screen. Um, we don't need to share the system audio, but I can share my screen and you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing now. Where is it? Should I share the entire screen or window, or should I just share the tab? I'm gonna just show you guys my entire screen right now. Um, And this is what that is kind of weird. So this is my screen, and I want to go to this link here. I could just bam do that, and you guys can see. You can see that link. Everything that I'm watching there. So that'll be something that I play around with a little bit. But all these multiple screens, I'm not used to that. So we're gonna get out of the screen sharing tab real quick. But a lot of things that I could kind of, experiment with that'll come in handy when I'm in some debates and things of that nature with people. Normally I would just give you my opinion and leave it at that. But sometimes I have to go a little bit in depth, and then I'll just go in depth. So again, we're live on multiple outlets: Rat Pack Sports Show, Facebook, Rat Pack Sports Show group, Rat Pack Sports, YouTube. Find us on YouTube. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, Rat Pack Sports as well. We're actually on Twitch, Rat Pack Sports on Twitch, and Bucks Life. We're there as well. So we're gonna keep this thing going. This could be possibly like a 3-hour stream, and we're just gonna keep this thing going. Like it's still early in the show. We haven't really got the juices flowing yet. I'm just kind of doing like a little introduction on how we do things, and me personally. I know we're on Bucks Life, but we're not gonna just talk all Bucks. We could talk, Saints. If somebody want to call in and talk Saints, Panthers, Chiefs, as we had before, the man came in talking about the Dolphins. We're not gonna talk about them a whole lot, but we will get into them a little bit. We could talk anything, any sports that you want to get into. So there's no problem here on my end. And I do this for the people and to have fun and entertain. And when all of us gets on at once, you get left field correspondent, you get William Graves, you get who else? Boss Hog, Sean Naylor, later in the show. It could get a little fun. So I hope you guys just hang in there and enjoy the show, because it can get real. It can get real. So but let's go ahead, because I got a list of things, but I'm going to jump into some NBA talk real quick. Well, not real quick. I might be here for a little bit, but I'm just saying real quick because let's get into it. So we're getting down to the playoffs, and I'm sure Nicholas Lane is probably going to be calling in here in about 5 or 10 minutes, because he will be coming on to talk NBA as well. But since we're already going to start on it, then I'm just going to get into it, and then we'll just ride the wave once Nicholas Lane, Rat Pack Sports Show, NBA Insider, gets online with us. So, okay, and let's get into the playoff race. So, let's go to the Eastern Conference. You have the Miami Heat, Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, Philadelphia 76ers, Raptors, Bulls, Cavaliers, which is, to see the Cavaliers in this position, that is a plus. And they didn't need the season's not over, but it's close enough to being over. It's only like 4 or 3 games left in the season. And the Cavaliers are pretty much locked in. Oh, shoot. It might be less than that because this is it. Okay, so Cavaliers are in the 7th spot. Nets, for everything that they went through injury-wise, and then, the whole Kyrie situation. They're in the 8th spot. Hawks and Hornets. And in the West, you got Suns that kind of ran away with it, 63-16, best record in the league. Memphis Grizzlies, who no matter if Ja Morant is healthy or not, they just continue to win. Golden State, Dallas, Utah, Denver Nuggets. I didn't realize Dallas Mavericks was 19 games over 500, but there are 4th seed. Denver Nuggets, and they don't even have Murray back yet. They're in. Timberwolves, Clippers, Pelicans, Spurs. I want y'all to see my face. I want y'all to see my face. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm smiling a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers, ladies and gentlemen, has been officially eliminated from the playoff race. I've been calling this for a while, and it feels good to see it actually happen. I'm gonna just be real. It was so much hype around the Los Angeles Lakers that, and I knew the team wasn't gonna be good. I knew the team wasn't gonna be good. You're just trying to do too much. But I knew they weren't gonna be good, and they ended up not being that good. And I think the GOAT conversation, folks, we could continue to have the GOAT conversation, but that conversation to me is over with. It is over with, man. It is over with. And I'm gonna tell you why it's over with. Because you're LeBron James and you're the self-proclaimed GOAT. You're the GOAT. You call yourself the GOAT. That's what you are. You're the GOAT. Actually, no, he self-proclaimed himself as the king. But now he's saying he's the GOAT. I don't remember anybody at all ever saying Michael Jordan never called himself the greatest of all time. He never called himself the greatest of all time. Didn't need to. All his peers did that for him. They all did it for him. And at the end of the day, when you're the best, you don't have to call yourself the best. The people, your peers, they call you the best. The people that played against you, the people that watch you, they call you the best. Now, I get in these debates all the time with people, and they say this. Well, LeBron James is the best, why? And I always ask, why? And he just is. Okay, give me something better than that. Like, give me something better than he just is. I want to know why you feel like he is the GOAT. Name me one thing he does better than MJ. And they really can't, give me anything. They just go to stats. He has done this. He has done that. He's scored more points. He's a better shooter because he has a better field goal percentage. Well, anybody with common sense, folks, anybody with just that much common sense, no, LeBron James cannot shoot the ball better than Michael Jordan. Anybody. I mean, and the people that's trying to make this point, right? Those are the people that they just keep running to the stats. You don't necessarily have to keep running to the stats. You don't. My eye test. This is a lot when I get in debates with people, and sometimes people like to run the stats on me, run them up, run the stats on me. Well, I don't really get into, I'll run the stats if I need to, but I can get my point across without the stats because the eye test. Let's go to the video. Eye test. You can kind of maneuver and manipulate stats any way you want to get your point across. LeBron has played a long time, so he's going to be, ahead in, a few different categories. That's just a given, but it doesn't mean he's a better. He might be slightly better rebounding. Passing wise, listen, I watched Jordan play a lot of games, and you can't tell me like MJ wasn't a good passer. I'll just point you in the direction of this mixtape that they have on YouTube of MJ. For any LeBron James fan, I'll point you in that direction. And once I point you in that direction, then you'll find out real fast that MJ is indeed the GOAT. Greatest of all time. The first time I ever heard the GOAT was LL Cool J. He made a song called GOAT. GOAT. Greatest of all time. And it's a pretty good track. And then ever since then, everybody been saying GOAT. Curry GOAT. So that is that. So we're gonna have Nicholas Lane. He's gonna be on with us soon. I just got a text message from him. And oh boy. Okay. So we got an appearance here. I'm not even sure if he is live yet. I'm not gonna put him on. I'm not gonna add him to the stream yet because I want to make sure my man is live. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add him to the stream. So let's bring him in, ladies and gentlemen. He is on probably just audio because all I can see is the what you call it? What you call that? Just the little icon. So I won't go. I'm gonna dip him off of this live. Actually, I can't because if I minimize it. So he's just gonna be. He's already got his name in here, ladies and gentlemen. Left field correspondent, Carlton Cook. What's going on, brother? He's having some connection problems right now, so let's make sure we can get him on here and get his audio right. Left field, can you hear me, brother? I don't think he's on yet. So yeah, he's not on yet. So my guys that join the show, you will be joining a live stream. So make sure you got a good connection. I don't know if William Gregg's gonna make it. Left field correspondent, brother, if you hear me, I can't hear you, so I don't even know if you're trying to talk. If the video connection is a little down, call the Skype line. And ladies and gentlemen, you can call the Skype line as well, 727-565-1585. And we could get you on that way as well. We don't discriminate. We try to get everybody on, and that's how we do things here. So we got left field correspondent on. Maybe he's not ready to talk yet. So we'll just wait for him to come on and see if he's ready to talk. So until then, I'm going to keep rambling on and jumping into my NBA skirmish that I was going on and about the Lakers. So Lakers are not in. And I thought something went on. I'm in a couple different groups on Facebook, basketball groups, and looking at some post that was made, and people were like laughing and clowning the Lakers, and I was like, what is going on here? Well, they were clowning the Lakers because now that they're no longer in the playoffs, guess who's not going to dress? I get my ankle hurt. You guessed it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what is this all about? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got him on the line with us now. I hope everybody on the stream itself can hear him as well. So we're gonna bring him in. Rat Pack Sports Show, NBA insider, Mr. Nicholas Lane. What's going on, brother?
Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Happy first day of softball in about an hour and a half. And season ends Sunday. We got the Anthony Bennett All-Star team coming up, and just like we called it right after the All-Star break, we didn't have to talk about the Lakers, and we knew it. Their season was done for, and it officially was over yesterday.
Yeah, and so it feels good. I told you, a couple weeks ago we was kind of discussing it. I told you a couple weeks ago, man, that this is all I really wanted to see happen. Was the Lakers not make it? And people could call me a hater. You know what? So I could be a hater. Because everybody just assumed that they were going all the way and they were going back. They picked up Russell Westbrook, and they brought in Carmelo Anthony and some other veteran guys that turned out not to be that good for the Lakers. I'll just put it like that. Not that good for the Lakers, but other places they've been pretty good players, man. And LeBron, he twisted his ankle a few days ago, and a lot of people just kind of figured right then that he was not going to play the rest of the season.
Well, it turned out to be, a stake in the heart at that point, right? You had LeBron missed some time earlier in the season. Obviously, Davis got hurt twice this season. Kendrick Nunn never played. Rajon Rondo was traded, and he was an afterthought. He's not really that much anymore. Carmelo can only do one thing and one thing only, and that's shoot at under 40%. So, it's not there. Dwight Howard, I thought he played pretty good for stretches of the season, and Malik Monk was really their second best player for quite a while this year. Westbrook, obviously, is well documented that he had a really bad start to the season. He picked it up at the end. It just wasn't enough. Frank Vogel he looked like he didn't want to be there for almost 3/4 of the year. He didn't want to be there, and this roster didn't work. If they try to keep these big three players and then figure out the rest of the guys, I just don't know what's going to happen there. If they keep LeBron another year, they might explore Anthony Davis trades in the offseason. They'll get a great return if they do decide to trade him. But I feel like if they do trade Anthony Davis, however that goes down, then LeBron's going to probably opt out. And all of a sudden, the Lakers have zero draft capital except for their 2027 pick and their 2029 pick. So in the offseason, they're going to be able to offer the 2029 pick. And I feel like to get off Russell Westbrook now, with one more year left on his deal, you're going to have to give it up. And do the Lakers want to do that? That's something that could be just so costly down the road. And you know me on this show, ever since I've been on there, I've preached, if you give up all this stuff, and if you have to get off extremely future assets, now it might not look like a big deal, but all it takes is a couple of bad seasons, and all of a sudden your roster's bad, your front office is bad. You're looking like Houston. You're looking at Detroit, Orlando, right? Like you're at the bottom of the league. And then all of a sudden that 2029 pick looks like a pot of gold. So I think the Lakers got to be careful. What do you think?
Oh, I think they definitely have to be careful, man. There was some moves that was made to make all this happen that we all questioned from the very jump, and kind of felt like this stuff was gonna come back and bite them in the behind. Now they're in a situation where you can't mess up. You don't have a whole lot going for you right now. You're gonna be in a rebuild. You're definitely gonna be in a rebuild. And you got to make some important moves. And I think part of the important moves is, what do you do with LeBron? I mean, that's,
Well, I feel like the elephant in the room on that team is, what do you do with Westbrook?
Yeah.
And with one more year left in the deal, so it's either you run it back, risk what just happened, or you have to trade your 2027 and 2029 pick to get off of him. I think that's a tougher situation, because the moment you actually do trade Anthony Davis, which I'm going to give it a 25% chance they actually would trade him this offseason, but the moment that happens, LeBron's gone. Like, he can opt out and go play wherever he wants to play.
Yeah.
But to me, the main thing is, what do you do with Westbrook? And I think that is the $1 million question that we're going to have to see how the offseason goes. My take is, you gave up your depth for him. LeBron wanted this to work. You got to keep him. I think you keep him.
I was actually about to say, couldn't the Lakers keep Westbrook and then build around him as their centerpiece?
Can we move LeBron?
Yeah. I mean, like, why? Why?
But what's the price of the second best player of all time? What's the price of him? I mean, you've never been traded before. I feel like a ton of teams would, teams that have a lot of draft capital and probably a bad contract or two, they might consider it. Like, I could see Dallas doing something like that. They give them Jalen Brunson and Travis Bertans and a bunch of picks. Like, maybe that's a deal to do it.
Well, I mean, the Lakers are no used to taking to bad contracts. I mean, let's face it. The Anthony Davis contract is a complete joke from start to finish. The man has not even played a full season. The man has yet to play a full season since joining the Lakers. He has yet to play almost half a season. He may have played a little over half a season. But for what you're paying him, that's a bad contract. Honestly, I'm surprised he's not the number one guy on your Anthony Bennett stars list, because he would be on mine.
Hey, I was about to say.
I was going to say, William, don't worry. I have my eye on that list. I have it all actually. I actually have it all figured out. It will be raring and ready to go. And believe me, there will be a couple of names where you guys will be shocked, but I feel like they're warranted. But William, you're on the right track, because there is some really big names in the NBA that haven't played a game this season that makes over $30 million a year. There's 3 of them, and I'm sure you guys can figure them out. And they are 100% on my list, because if you don't play a game, which in one player's case, the only way he would play a game is if he wanted to start on one of the worst teams in the league, and that team said, "Nah, we'll pay you to sit at home." That tells me that you're an Anthony Bennett all-star.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would almost have to think that Ben Simmons is somewhere on that list.
Ding, ding, ding. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right, sir. Yes, he is on that list.
I always love that game show.
I mean, but he forced his way out of Philly. He's trying to file a grievance through the Players Association to get his $20 million back, and the Sixers fined him. And he never played a game. All of a sudden, he went from mental health to back spasms. Holy mother! That guy makes at least 28 to 32, right, Derek? You'd say?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're thereabouts. But this is also something that me and you have talked about in depth off of the show, and me and Derek have even talked in depth about off of the show, with the just the overall toxic situation that it was in Philly. And, I am not giving him a pass, because regardless of what the toxic nature is, you and your camp, you guys made a choice. And that choice was to force your way out of Philly. So, with that being said, I don't give you a pass for sitting at home because you were unhappy. There are lots of people that are unhappy in their situations, but they're still out there on that court. And and I'll even throw a name out there to you right now, Kyrie Irving. You can't tell me Kyrie Irving was happy with the situation in Brooklyn where he couldn't play a home game, but he could go into the arena. I mean, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But did you see Kyrie trying to force himself out of Brooklyn?
No, all he had to do was tell James Harden he was washed up, and all of a sudden that was the last straw. And you put Ben Simmons. The thing to me is like, fine, if you don't like Philly, great. I understand because you were bad in the playoffs. You lost to a Hawks team you were supposed to crush, and now all of a sudden you claim mental health, and now, like, Derek, to me, unless you're like doing crazy physical activity at home, how do you not play a game, go from having mental health issues to having back spasms? Like, unless he is like really exerting his body at home or doing very rigorous workouts, how else is he causing his back a lot of problems?
I don't know. I don't know, man. To me, I don't know. I thought the same thing when I heard of it. I thought the same thing. What in the world is going on? How can you be out that long and then all of a sudden, bang, you're hurt?
Ben Simmons, like the
I think
uncle
it
who
would
fried
be a
him.
giant, colossal waste of a year if the Nets can't even get out of the Eastern Conference play-in tournament. Like, and you trade for a guy that can't even play? I mean, yeah, he probably fits with KD and Kyrie if he was actually on the floor. Yeah, he totally would probably fit with them because those two guys are bona fide scorers and dominate the ball. Ben Simmons doesn't need to dominate the ball to be good. We all know that. But at the same time, then why trade for him? Were those two
Let me ask
first-round
you
picks
this.
that Philly were those two first-round picks that Philly gave you worth it? Like 1 year of Andre Drummond that now he's gonna be one of your more reliable centers, which at the end of the day, he's a terrible playoff center. He's never done anything even when Detroit made the playoffs when he was their guy. Like,
okay.
I mean, Steph Curry is good, but like, I guess you see where I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Was Brooklyn, were they aware of this entire situation with Simmons before the trade? Because it kind of seems to me like Brooklyn is kind of left holding the bag here.
For this season, it looks like it that way because, I mean, I don't think Philly's going to be trading Simmons unless you're disclosing that. I would think that has to be pretty bad business practice if you don't tell your team that, hey, the number one guy you're trading for off our team that we want to make available can't even play for you. I mean, that team has to kind of know that. I would like to think so, right? Unless
either that or
that kind of shady backroom stuff goes on behind closed doors in the league. Like I can't think of a GM in the league that says, all right, I'll give you James Harden, but I want this guy who's good, but he can't play. Oh, wait, we're struggling to barely get into the top 5 or top 6. Now we have to play in the play-in tournament, and we don't even get them. So, it's kind of a mind-boggling situation on both sides of it. You know, Harden.
Well, I just kind of feel that Ben Simmons has played both teams. I honestly think that he was aware of his health situation, and I think he didn't disclose it to Philly. And now that he's on a new team, he doesn't necessarily probably want to be in Brooklyn. I don't know. I don't. I just know that he wanted to be out of Philly. Well, if he's not happy there in Brooklyn, well, all of a sudden, boom, oh, wait, by the way, I had this injury. So
To
now,
me, it's strange that just anywhere but Philly. I don't care who it is. I'll go anywhere else but Philly. But if you can't play and help your team, and now all of a sudden you care about the money you potentially could have lost, when his camp the entire time before he got traded said, we don't care about the money. What's there to believe?
Well, okay, so first and foremost, for them to say that they don't care about money, bullcrap. Especially $20 million. This is what they are trying to do. They're trying to get paid to do nothing.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
They did a pretty good job with Simmons because they apparently held him out, claimed that he is mentally unstable, that he needs time and counseling and healing. And then all of a sudden you get the back injury. It's so significant that he hasn't even practiced. He hasn't done even 3-on-3 drills or nothing. It's pretty pathetic, actually.
Yeah, it is. But and Derek, I want your take on this too.
All right.
With Ben Simmons pulling what he did, is the back injury? Is it legit?
Man, I don't know. I mean, how do you have that type of back injury and you haven't been doing anything? For what you get paid to do, you haven't done anything to have that kind of back injury. So how did you hurt your back? And when did it get hurt? And when did it get hurt?
Right. And Nicholas, that I posed the same question to you. If where did this back injury come from? Is it legit? Or is he sitting there playing, I don't want to go to school today, so I'm going to take the thermometer and hold it up to the light and make my temperature higher than what I want it to be, all because I don't want to go to school? Because honestly, that's what he reminds me of. It reminds me of a child that doesn't want to go to school.
That's a pretty good analogy, I feel like, with him this season. There was something really wrong, and Philly should be very happy to have Harden and to get. They have a shot at the title. I mean, that's not a bad situation to be in. I mean, yeah, the Eastern Conference is going to be tough, and it's a great conference this year. But I mean, Philly has a shot. Where Brooklyn, maybe they don't. Maybe with KD and Kyrie, they just don't have enough for a 7-game series. I'm not sure, but
I would almost agree. I would almost agree with you, but with the way that Kyrie has been playing, I mean, he just dropped consistent 40 burgers over the last several games. KD is playing probably, I would almost say, one of his top 5 best seasons that he's ever had. Now, I think they could get past the play-in tournament, but then after that, I think it's a crapshoot, because you're still going to have to go through the Celtics. You're still going to have to go through the Heat. And, and yes, Ball is out, but you cannot shy away from the Chicago Bulls. And even
Well,
with ball
I'll say
out,
this.
I think the Bulls are in a better position than what the Nets are.
Well, and I'll also say this. Everybody on the show knows this, and it's very apparent. You can't sleep on the Hornets. They're not a bad team. And guess who beat Brooklyn in Brooklyn just like 9 days ago? The Charlotte Hornets.
The Hornets.
did. So you know, that I feel like this play-in tournament on the Eastern Conference side is actually going to be really good. It's a very competitive side of the conferences there. You know, when you have a matchup like New Orleans and San Antonio, you would like to think if DeJounte Murray gets over his cold, then, you know, I think it's going to be a really good game. Barely the Pelicans could probably pull it out, but I would say don't sleep on Charlotte. Like, if Brooklyn doesn't come out, like all it takes is Terry Rozier and LaMelo Ball to get hot, and all of a sudden you're losing. And that would be flat out embarrassing for Brooklyn if they lost to a team like Charlotte in the play-in tournament. So they got to watch it.
But in all honesty, would it really be that inconceivable for Charlotte to beat Brooklyn?
No, knowing what we know on this show, absolutely it's not, because we know Charlotte's good. We know Charlotte can play an up and down style offense. They have hot shooters. They have decent size. It's okay. And I think James Borrego is a pretty underrated coach. I don't think he's a bad coach at all. So to me, I don't think it's inconceivable at all that Charlotte could potentially upset some teams and get through the play-in tournament. I love their roster, and I love what they do. And Brooklyn has to rely on too many 35-year-olds, 34-year-olds.
Okay, but let me ask both of you guys a question. Does Charlotte have enough to go all the way?
I mean, are you talking about getting out of the play-in tournament or winning a title?
Winning a title. Because I don't know.
Not even a country.
I was about to say I don't know if they're there yet. They're close, but I think they still need a couple more pieces.
If you told me that Gordon Hayward was healthy, then I would say they can get to the second round. But they need another stop. They need another guy. You know, Gordon Hayward is paid like that guy, but he's not. So, you know, somehow you're going to have to figure out what to do with him, and if he can give it a go during the play-in or the playoffs. Now, I mean, if they won the title, William, you better be certain I'll be selling my LaMelo Ball collection pretty fast, because that shit would go up way up in money. But for now, I have to temper my expectations. He made the All-Star team, which I knew he would, and you know, they're in the play-in tournament. They have a shot. So for me, I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with a season like that for him in year two. So, but I think Phoenix has a great shot at getting out of the West again. Definitely have a great shot to get out of the West. I still feel like Utah is that surprise team. If they got out of the West, we would all be pretty surprised. Golden State's better than Utah.
Utah is dangerous.
Yeah, Utah usually dangerous every year, but they never put it together.
But they are as good of a 3-point shooting team as Utah is. They are just as susceptible to give up threes because Gobert isn't that type of center. And so for now, there's just not a lot of evidence saying that Utah okay. It basically for Utah to be able to, we got to take them seriously or not. We need to see them in the conference finals. We need to see Gobert be able to contain some 3-point shooting. That's what does them in. You can't get out to the perimeter, and if you do, then you don't want him out there. It's not what he's there for. And so Utah doesn't have the perimeter defense that works. That's why they got bounced by the Clippers last year, because Terrence Mann just couldn't miss from three. So that's where I'm concerned about Utah. But could they surprise and upset? I 100% believe they can. But for now, I got to put the Warriors and the Suns as the top two teams in the West.
Man, that would be a crazy series. For the Western Conference Final, that would go 7 games. I
think it would be a very entertaining
that would go 7 games. Oh, absolutely, 110%.
So I think that's where the West lies. Like, Dallas is good; they're in the top 6, and they're not in the play-in tournament. But at the end of the day, I can't take Dallas seriously. I mean, I honestly can't. So, as good as Luka Doncic is, it's him or bust for the Mavericks. And so, for now, I just can't take that team seriously in the West. Minnesota has had a great season. They're a great story. I don't think they even have close to enough to get out of the first round. But I think they're really good.
I don't think Minnesota has a complete roster yet.
Well, Anthony Edwards needs to be performing pretty high. Beverly needs to do Beverly things. And, of course, Towns needs to be who he has been this year. He's been a top 5 player this year, Towns has, at least in the fantasy world. So he's put up amazing numbers. So if he would have to do that, well, Beverly would have to be who he is, and Anthony Edwards needs to be that second guy. I don't know if you can rely on him yet. I mean, I was wrong on him, and I'll still admit it, that he's a lot better than I first thought he was. But I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he's ready for that stage yet. And this year will prove that. But, you know, you get to next year and the year after, then all of a sudden, I think he can.
Well, but also within those years or whatever, you do have to add more, because to put it all on his shoulders, that's not fair to him.
Well, it's not fair to Towns, or it's not fair to Edwards if you put them all on one of their shoulders. That I think they should. I think Edwards is talented enough offensively that you can count on him in a playoff series. Maybe not this season, but I think in future years you could. The thing is, he doesn't try on defense and he doesn't care. And so that's a downside of Anthony Edwards, but it's what happens with most young players. They don't really care about on the defensive end until later on down the road. So I think the West is a little bit more clear cut compared to the East. The East is a crapshoot. I think so, at least. I think Miami is really good. Philly, Boston has just absolutely killed it in the second half of the year. You know, Toronto is a wild card. They got some players too. You know, Atlanta can be back in the mix as well. I mean, if you put Atlanta as a 10 seed, oh my gosh, man, that's a good team. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So the East is going to be great. And, you know, when Derek said at the beginning of the segment, call me a hater because about LeBron and the Lakers, well, you can call me a hater about Chet Holmgren. I'll admit that. I'm a non-believer in Chet. Definitely a bigger believer in Paulo Banchero and Jabari Smith compared to Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, hey, you know what? They ain't nothing wrong with a little haterade. I mean, to
A
be
little haterade?
yeah, what's wrong? Did I say something wrong?
A little haterade.
Yeah.
Debo, you got an entire cooler of haterade
Man, listen, I'm
when it
just
comes to the Lakers.
not really the Lakers.
Okay,
More.
certain players
Yeah,
on the Lakers.
yeah, more like
We'll go that route.
okay. Well, yeah. You know what? I'll go ahead and a little bit, not a lot. I just think the Lakers. I just laugh at the Lakers. That's all. That's all. No big deal. I just laugh at them a little bit. They did some crazy
Well,
things to try to win that championship, and I'm just so ecstatic it backfired. That's all.
well, I mean, hopefully
Hey, listen,
the
LeBron.
Lakers collapse.
LeBron came at everybody
Oh.
earlier. LeBron came at everybody earlier in the season when people was talking about how garbage his team was. And he tweeted out some, basically saying, stop talking about my team. You'll see what happened when the time comes. Like they were just guaranteed to make the playoffs. Well, the time is here. And you're not in, buddy. You're not in.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that you can't make the playoffs when you sit there and you lose 7 straight at the end of the season.
Hey, Nicholas, question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did we ever predict that they would be 17 games under 500? I don't think anybody thought that would happen for the Lakers. 31-48. Listen, we're not talking. I'm not talking GOAT conversation anymore. And I know he's only one guy, and he can't do it all by himself. A lot of people seem to think he could. I told everybody that you can't assemble a Cleveland Cavaliers team in the Western Conference and think you're going anywhere.
Well, not only a Cleveland Cavaliers team, but a Heat team or something like that. These super teams that he kept on wanting to create.
Well, they thought this was a super team with him and AD. No, they're not a super team.
Can't be a super team when you don't play over half the season.
Hey, you know what? And I'm finna go on the limb and say something real crazy. That knee injury that AD had that kept him out for like what? How many games he missed because of that knee injury? Like 25, 30 games or something like that.
Quite a while, and then he rolled his ankle a couple games later.
Yeah, that was LeBron's fault because LeBron James pushed the guy into him. I'm just saying, go back and watch the replay. He pushed the guy into him.
Well, when you're trying to count on LeBron and when you're trying to count on LeBron in year 18 to carry your roster in a league that has completely changed since he has been in the league, he's not that dude, and that's I think it's pretty apparent that he's not that player. I just think that failure to put too much on him again. So many teams have done this. So many times in Cleveland it happened, and it happened in Miami at the end of it. It happened, obviously, this season, that he can't do everything. I mean, he could do probably 70% of the work and almost get you there, but they're still losing by 8, 11, 6. They're losing by a couple of points because, quite frankly, he's not a Steph Curry type player. He can't just hit 11 threes in a game and beat you. Like, he's not that guy. And he was trying to have 50-point nights just to even have it be competitive. it's pretty sad. I mean, he's up there in age. I mean, he's 37, almost 38 at least. So to me, it's just a lack of roster building that they didn't get things right in the off season. They didn't do anything in the trade deadline because if Taylor Horton Tucker was playing pretty good most of the season, they would have been able to trade him. But he wasn't very good this year. So shout out to the guy who made the article before the start of the season saying that Taylor Horton Tucker was better than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I know you guys don't watch many Thunder games, but I'll tell you, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
No, I don't. But you did post a little bit ago that what game that was the other night, the Thunder and who was it? Or was that yesterday? A game that you was watching with the Thunder? Said it was
the Blazers game.
Yeah, Thunder and the Blazers. Okay, so
it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate that OKC won, but I got to see this undrafted kid named Lindy Waters play. He played at Oklahoma State, and he had a tryout for the Oklahoma City Blue, the G League team there, and that kid is an actual NBA rotational player. Like Lindy Waters, that kid can light it up from three, and he has a good shot. His body's not developed. He's super young. He looks like a baby face out there, but the kid can really shoot the three. And at some point, you're completely rebuilding, as we all know, Orlando's doing the same thing, that you need to find players from the grocery store, the scrap heap of the waiver wire. I mean, anywhere you can find a player, you got to find them, as unconventional as it was. I mean, they found Lou Dort from nobody else wanted him. And now, you look and see what Lou Dort is. And so when I see stuff like that, it tells me that out of the 5 or 6 guys that are on the floor, a couple guys on the bench, that you think and you try to find players the way that like a team like Oklahoma City does, then because you just found a gem in the rough, as long as they obviously noticed that. But that's where, when you rebuild, it takes time, because it takes time for an Alexei Pokusevsky to look, pretty decent out there, even though he's still extremely raw. You got to find out if Jerome is good. You got to find out if you need Baisley next year, Darius Baisley, or you can trade Baisley. I mean, these things are very important choices that these teams make. And to me, I would trade Baisley, and I would give Lindy Waters a roster spot. And that's how I see it. And, we got it all wrong about Josh Giddey. We didn't see how good he was. And holy crap, that kid's good. And now the Thunder, they have their backcourt. They need a front court guy. And they got all the cap room and all the draft picks in the world to do whatever they want. It's such an opposite situation compared to the Lakers.
Well, it's good, we know teams like the Thunder and the Blazers, we're in somewhat of a rebuild. Even though the Blazers with Lillard, they're a team that's still building, trying to build that foundation to give Lillard something to have around him. But we expect them to be, a bad team.
Yeah, I mean, we called it before the start of the season that the Blazers were not going to do very well. We pinned that one down pretty good, and we also said that Chauncey Billups was not the right hire. And I mean, they're losing. I mean, yeah, they're losing games, and it doesn't matter. And it is what it is with their situation, but their talent disparity out of their third best player now on their team compared to their end of bench guys who are probably not going to be in the league at all. To me, it's a difference compared to OKC finding a guy like Lenny Waters that I think actually is a rotational NBA player. So that's where I like to say that the Thunder are in 3 times better shape than the Blazers are, even though they're close to the same record.
Yeah.
To me, the Thunder are in that 2-year trajectory to where they could be a dominating team in 2 years. I think next year they could be like a play-in team and get some of those guys like some of that experience they need. And then I think by the 2023-2024 season, they're going to be really good. 2024-2025 season, right? Like, so we just finished 23-24. That season, I think the Thunder are going to be absolutely dynamite, and you heard it here first. They're going to be at the top of the West by that time because Dort will be developed. Gilgeous-Alexander will be a dominant scorer like he already is, but he might be the better two-way player by then. And then you got Josh Giddey, who's going to be developed in year 3 by then. And then if they hit on some of their draft picks, they got some of their back-end players to keep developing. Like, to me, that's where I feel like the Thunder will start turning it up and be really good by that time period.
Yeah, I think the future is bright for them. They've lost a lot over the years, but I think they've done a really good job of retooling and making some good trades, getting value and just overall building the team from the ground up. A lot of the other organizations out there, they knew they were in the rebuilding phase, and they kind of just were they the organization that came out and told their fans that they were in the rebuilding phase and it may not look good, but trust them, they're doing the work to bring winning back to OKC. What franchise was that? Because one of the franchises management came out and actually gave them a plan that they were gonna, going into a rebuild pretty much and just as stick it out with them and stay on board.
Well, essentially the Thunder, they trade Paul George, they trade Westbrook, they trade for Chris Paul, and then trade Chris Paul for more. They trade Oubre for a protected pick. They traded Al Horford and got pretty good value out of that too. They traded for Kemba Walker, then they bought him out. I mean, they got an extra pick for Kemba Walker. They've really done everything correctly, I feel like. I mean, they have good players plus all these picks and all this cap room. Like, there's no other situation in the league to have that kind of talent already on the roster, plus the amount of picks they have and the cap flexibility. Outside of Derek Favors, and I mean, Shea will still have another year until his full salary kicks in. Like, this team is really locked and loaded, and they're only going to get better. They still have the luxury of having one more year of maneuvering trades, consolidating picks, moving up, trading the pick to get 2 future picks. Like, I think they have one more year of doing that, and then you're going to start seeing them do other things to find a Jamal Murray, to find a Devin Booker to put on their roster. Now, I'm not saying those guys, but somebody similar to them in a situation where maybe a player wants to get out of, and all of a sudden you can put Shea, Giddey, and now another dominant scorer with the Shea, who I feel like his offensive game is just as good as almost any two guard in the league, period. And so when you see that they can do that and it barely hits their cap, they've already given Dort a deal. It's like 4 years, $10 million. I mean, these things are just amazing what they are doing. They're signing these guys to longer term contracts so early in their potential to where it's kind of like how the Warriors were able to have Curry on that really low deal after his rookie contract, for them to have a Kevin Durant on their roster and be able to afford it. So the Thunder are making the moves correctly to someday put themselves in those type of situations that any team would want to be in. And so I think a lot of teams are pretty envious of their spot with how good some of these guys have been for them, plus their flexibility.
Yeah, man. It's just, good to see. You got really good management when they're rebuilding the team and they're not just going through free agency and spending a whole lot of money, but actually, building a winner. So I respect the Thunder for what they're doing, because let's face it, this was a team not that long ago that were in conversations year in and year out of being a team that can go all the way and win the title, and it kind of went away really fast for them.
Well, and few people forget that they made the playoffs in the bubble and they took Houston to the 7th game. A lot of people forget that part of it.
I forgot that myself.
That that was a game that Lou Dort became the only the highest scoring Game 7 undrafted player in NBA history, and so at least they are in the right direction. Where obviously the opposite of how we started the segment, or the Lakers, they're kind of in the opposite direction, and I think we've done a fantastic job breaking down their situation pretty well. And all the reports are saying that Frank Vogel is done. He's not going to. He's not coming back next year. So, they're gonna have to be. They're gonna have to be searching for a new coach.
Yeah, which is this is also part of the LeBron effect. He has this impact with coaches, and I don't. I'll go back to his Cavaliers days. I always bring this up because I'm never gonna let anybody forget it. Cleveland Cavaliers. You were had one of the top league records in the league at the time, and you also were having one of your best seasons to that point in franchise history, and you had a head coach that came from the European League by the name of David Blatt, and he was one of those coaches, and I knew early on that it was going to be a problem because the dude wasn't afraid to call anybody out, even LeBron himself. He wasn't afraid to just call it like it is, cut and dry. He was a cut and dry coach. And they fired that guy midway through the season. I think it was either just after the All-Star break or right before the All-Star break. They fired him and brought in Tyronn Lue. And honestly, what was the reason? We never really heard a reason why. They just said we felt like we needed to make this move to move forward and give ourselves the best opportunity. But I'm like, how do you do that when you're already one of the top teams in the league record-wise? How do you how do you,
You were definitely.
you know,
Go ahead.
I'm like, how do you get to a point? That's like, it would have never happened, but that's like the Chicago Bulls. They running ramshot in the league. They doing their thing. They balling. Jordan balling, Pippen balling, and just right after the All-Star break, the Bulls say, sorry, Phil Jackson, it's not going to work out. And I'm not. This is the scenario before they won the 6 titles, not after you've won a title. Obviously, he was well on his way as a coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he was doing great. But that's like a team like the Bulls or the Knicks with who was the head coach of the Knicks teams? Was it Riley? Yeah, Pat Riley with the Knicks back in the late 90s, mid 90s. And that's like, no, Jeff Van Gundy. That's what I'm thinking about. Jeff Van Gundy with the Knicks in those days, just them, you're having a great season, and then they just go to the coach and say, you know what? We got to move on. Then they never really explained themselves.
You were very critical about the David Blatt firing, and you were right the entire time about that take. It still looks pretty bad. Cleveland they're another team in the East. Like, they're not bad. And Brooklyn could lose to them too. So I think you have a theory that's pretty correct and pretty spot on when it comes to, some coaches don't deserve it. And these teams suffer because of that. We like to point that out on this show, and I think we're right to point that out on this show.
Yeah. Yep, man.
But boys, I got to run. I need to stretch. I haven't played in a long time, so I better not pull a muscle, and I got to get going.
All right, brother. Well, hey, appreciate you calling in, man. And as always, be safe out there. Don't tear anything. We don't want you to tear anything. And
well, the next time you'll hear from me, we'll be talking some Anthony Bennett All-Stars. It's the best time of the year. It's like the Masters tradition and the All-Stars in the same sentence. It's like the same time frame.
Cool, man. So, hey, we appreciate you calling in, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get stretched out, and you go out there and hit a couple ground balls, my boy.
I will do that. I'm good at it. I'm good at that. All right, take care, buddy.
All right, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Rat Pack Sports Show NBA Insider, Mr. Nicholas Lane, and he is with us. He's on every week when he could get on, and we appreciate him coming in. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna try this again because left field correspondent has been trying to get in, and I see his face. He's saying his microphone.
Can't hear you. Now you can hear me?
Still can't hear him. Let's I don't know what's going on. Nope, can't hear him. My guy.
Can't hear me?
Like him. His microphone on his phone doesn't like him. He's been trying to get on for about the last gotta be
Can you hear me?
hour. So left field, like I can see stuff moving, but I just can't hear him. Yeah, I can't hear him. So that's a little just call in to the we'll fix that problem. Just call into the phone line, man. We'll get you on the phone line definitely, but he's trying to get on the video, and he can't get on the video, so I see stuff moving. Like I said, I see stuff moving. I just don't hear him, and on my end, everything is set up. So it's got to be something on his end. We'll figure it out. He might ask him if he got like Metro PCS or something, because he is on the West Coast. My man left field correspondent um, we'll give you that story a little bit later. We don't want to spill the beans. He may very well welcome himself to this conversation. But he's trying, man. He's trying to get on this video. He want his face to be seen. We all want his face to be seen, and we just can't hear him. So he's determined, though. My guy's determined. So he's gonna keep pushing to try to get in. Hopefully we can get him in. I know we got William Graves on the other end, but we just cannot hear left field correspondent. Let's see something here. Let's swap the screen here. Hey, say something. Nope. Can't hear him. We got him on here. Can you hear me? Nope. He can't hear me. I don't know what's it. It's got to be left field correspondent. We got his face on the screen right here, folks. He just went dark. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there because this is pretty simple to do. You know what? Let me try something here. I think I might have it. Let me you know what? Let me try something here. Left field.
Debo.
All right, we got him. We got
Debo,
him. Yo, what's up, man?
that was your fault.
No, hey, listen.
That was your fault.
No, it wasn't. I just thought about something and I just went into the settings and did something real quick. I am not gonna
Hold on.
I did not inhale. So
He's tripping hard.
well, your network connection on my screen says 0 out of 10, bro. So you and I know William Graves is William. You still on the line, brother?
Yes, sir.
Hey, here come left field again. He done logged in twice. He got 2 windows going on here. I can hear you, but his video is not coming in clear. So we have his sound. The situation is fixed. So now it's just about my man being able to talk.
No, I
Debo.
tried to sign in through the link and it said something that my browser that I needed to switch to
Can you hear
another
me?
browser. So
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
something that
I can hear
I'm
you.
going to have to work on.
Debo, stop pushing buttons, bro.
I'm not pushing no buttons.
You pushing buttons.
No, I'm not, man.
I know you pushing buttons.
I'm not pushing no buttons.
You the operator. You the operator. Stop pushing buttons.
I'm not. Yeah, this is your connection. Your connection is bad, man.
No, your system is bad.
Nah, my system is great, bro. I got a gaming machine over here, bro. My system is good.
So you probably got that Walmart system. That Magic Jack.
Nah, man, I'm not on no Magic Jack. I'm not on no Magic Jack. Let's see.
Magic Jack XL.
Let's see. Hey, William,
Yes, sir.
can you hear left field correspondent? Probably not. I don't think you can hear him on.
No,
No.
I can't hear left field at all.
No, because the way this thing is wired up, I have to do something different with Skype for you to hear him. So um and I don't think I can't change anything while we're
All
live.
right,
I have to wait.
listen. I'm gonna call the show
Well,
because I'm getting
it seems like we
stupid
had
feedback.
just a little bit of technical issues and everything like that. But you know what? That's something that I'm sure is easily fixed. Like I said,
Oh yeah.
on my end, I just gotta figure out how to switch to
No,
a
no.
different browser.
What browser you using, William?
Uh, right now, Safari.
No, you're gonna need um Google Chrome. Chrome works the best with this
Yeah,
Okay, Google Chrome. Okay,
I
yeah.
was fighting with Google Chrome
all right.
for
Well,
the last hour.
that is something that I
No,
will be working on.
yeah, so
That I will.
yeah, left field correspondent. I fixed your situation. It wasn't even on your end. So
I
it
told
was
you.
it was on my end. It was on my end, but uh I am not admitting to it. I did not. I'm not admitting to it. So, but I fixed it. So, left field should be good, but William can't hear him because I had to change the audio settings in Skype so he could be able to hear everybody. But it's a little bit more difficult um, to do. So,
Well,
um,
listen.
yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna
I'm
say
I'm I'm gonna call into the show,
all right.
and yeah, I can hear y'all,
You can
but
hear
y'all
him.
couldn't hear me.
You can, yeah. See, yeah. I'm gonna tell you what I did, cause see, I'm a man that's not afraid to admit when I messed up. So, I want to welcome my viewers that's on Twitch and viewers on Bucks Life and the viewers that's been watching on Rat Pack Sports
Go Bucks.
as well. We're on YouTube, Rat Pack Sports Show on YouTube as well. So we're streaming at all of those platforms simultaneously. So if there is some little glitches, we'll get them fixed. It might take a little bit, but we'll figure it all out. So, but I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. I'm not afraid when I'm to admit when I'm wrong about something. So this is what I do. So when we're live, normally I mute my web browser because I don't want the little notification sounds and all of that stuff to be going off the charts while we're live on the show, or when I'm playing music or something like that, or doing some video editing through the browser. I don't want that stuff to be heard. So basically, all I had to do was unmute the browser, and so I unmuted the browser, and next thing you know, voila, left field correspondent can be heard. Hey, and every time he came in, he was looking like, nah, bruh, nah. So, but he's good now. We got him in. I just now for next time, I just have to know that I gotta unmute my browser for anybody that's coming through the video feed part of it. Normally we just doing audio and we just call through Skype and everything is good. But with the video, everything is run through the browser. So I have to know to unmute the browser, and everything is all good. So technical difficulties fixed. Now the only one left is to figure out how the people on Skype can hear my look at this man here. He's on. There he is, left field correspondent in the flesh. My man got the do-rag on and everything. He ready.
Well, I'm getting I'm getting my dread situation.
Oh, you getting them
So
locked up? Okay. Okay, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Left field. Hey, left field. Do us a favor, man.
what's
Let
that?
let, let the viewers in on your journey to where you at now from MIA.
Well, I started in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Homegrown talent. Um, had an injury, and I had my people come through, like, come spend some time with us here in Seattle, and now I'm in Seattle.
Did you ever
So
pick up your stuff in the
actually I did.
okay.
I went to Florida about 3 weeks ago. It was like a 3 night journey real quick. So I got all my stuff. So I'm back in Seattle.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I just want y'all to see this man and how he is. This man was in Florida. He didn't even call me and say, "Bro, I'm in Florida. I'm just swinging through." He passed right by me to get the way he going. You see how this guy is? See how this guy is, man?
Listen, man. If my mama wasn't there, I wouldn't have told her.
Hey, so you tried
But
to Casper your way in.
I'm like I say, it was a little short trip to get some stuff back to Seattle. Florida's still home, so I will be coming home. I need to figure out how I can hang out with Derek and try to get to William. I don't know, William.
Hey,
be everywhere.
You be everywhere, man. So you gotta call him in advance to make sure he gonna be stationed there for a little bit.
Exactly. Last time I heard about William, he was in Tahiti. But
he's a international player. Oh,
but
boy.
Yeah, man, it's just like I said, it was a little short trip, real quick, and I'm back in Seattle. It's funny though. It's very funny with football circumstances. People are hurt, bruh.
Whoa, about Russell Wilson being traded?
Yes.
Oh, I bet they are.
Man, I keep telling people, I'm like, Russ did that to y'all. Y'all did. You didn't do that to him. He did it to y'all.
Yeah.
He made sure he took all the money and then got mad he don't have an offensive line.
Yeah, that's part of the problem, man. And Wilson for a long time has had offensive line issues, even when he was at his peak. And it was the Legion of Boom with Richard Sherman and those guys back there in the secondary. They struggled on the offensive line for a while. So you knew when they got the money, you knew when he got his money, it would be even worse because they couldn't even evaluate talent before he got paid. So if you couldn't evaluate talent before you paid a man, and now you done paid him, and now you have to really evaluate talent to bring in guys that's gonna fit your system and fit under that salary cap. Now you got a problem. So they got a problem. They got a problem in Seattle. They they're officially in a rebuild, folks. Officially in a rebuild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
And they talking about DK Metcalf. People talking about trading him. Like if y'all trade him, what's
yeah, if you trade him, it's another that's another problem, man. You don't have nothing left. You really didn't have any backs. So
right?
and Metcalf was your big play guy. What's the little receiver that Wilson used to always hit deep on the
I got him a picture in my mind, but I can't get I can't verbalize it. But he's just a burner. He's not a solid player, bro. He can't do what Robert Woods does.
No. He definitely can't do what Wood does. I think Woods is I'm not gonna say underappreciated because I think the Rams realize the value they have in him.
And and they traded him.
And they traded him. So I, hey, I'll take Woods. I'll take Woods.
All day.
I'll take him right now. Let's see. I think William Graves is trying to. Oh, here we go. Here we go. William Graves says he's got to run and take care of something. So, yeah, it's just me and left field correspondent now for the next, little bit. So,
yeah,
man, that's weird looking at you, and it's bright as ever, and I'm sitting here at 10:00 at night, and it is pitch black, and I'm looking at you sitting in the car in this sunlight, or what is it, overcast on there?
Yeah, it's a little overcast. But what time was it? 7 o'clock? Yeah. We probably got another 45 minutes of light.
So about 8:00,
Yeah.
7:45, 8
About
o'clock.
8:15, it gets dark.
So how many people there has went out and bought Wilson Broncos jerseys? None? Them diehards.
Probably the diehard, probably. But people still rocking his jersey.
I want to look and see exactly if Denver plays Seattle this season. I'm gonna go check out their schedule and see.
I don't think they played this year, probably next year.
All right, let's see schedule. It probably they won't generate. Oh, that they actually already no data. So when do they normally release the schedules?
Was it next to close to the draft? I believe.
I thought it was somewhere around draft time, or maybe a little bit after the draft. It may be.
Right.
It might be a couple weeks. In a couple weeks, let's see. NFL 2022. Let's see. Release date. Oh, hold on. It looked like it's already out. Oh no, late April, early May. So yeah, probably before the draft, because the draft is May, early
Like
May.
May 15th or something like that.
Yeah, then that's late for the NFL. Normally the draft is in April. You used to fall right on the same week as my birthday every year. This year I think is May 8th or something like that.
Okay.
Let's see. NFL draft. Let's look it up. NFL draft. Oh, no, it isn't. April 28th through the 30th. Okay. So,
okay.
Yeah, because my birthday is on the 26th. That's how I never forget the draft, because it's always that weekend, because every time I'm out with the boys and stuff, we're watching the draft. So April 28th. So the schedule should be right around that time or a little bit after is what they're saying.
Mm.
Yeah. Yep. So man, it's gonna be an interesting season, man. A lot of moves, a ton of moves
Uh,
has happened.
Big
And
moves.
big move, big
Big
time
move.
moves, franchise changing moves.
I'm really, really looking to see what Kansas City does losing Tyreek Hill.
Well, I think the real issue is gonna be how your boy adjusts,
Yeah,
because he's been so used to just saying, "Go get it, buddy."
right,
Um,
right.
you don't have the "go get it, buddy" anymore. So
Mhm. And
now,
Kelsey is gonna get Kelsey's gonna get triple teamed.
yeah, um, I think Kelsey will be all right because he's a tight end, and tight ends in any offense for a quarterback is like their best friend. Um, they just Kelsey, one of them good route running tight ends. He'll get open. He's going to get a lot more.
Reception.
Receptions. He's going to get a lot more attention,
Right.
and But I've always liked him. He reminds me of your boy from
Love it.
San Francisco. What is Kittle? Him and
Yeah,
Kittle are
Kittle.
like, the same type of dudes to me. And I like watching both of them play. Gronk, another one in that same class. I think Kittle and Kelsey is a little bit faster than Gronk, but they all play the same way, just powerful, great hands. They know how to catch the ball in traffic, and they get the job done. But there's no help now for Mahomes. And one move I didn't understand, and you being being in Miami, they traded Parker as soon as they got Tyreek Hill. And I didn't understand that because, number one, my cousin is a diehard Dolphins fan. He can't stand Tua. He's ready for them to trade Tua now. And I told him the same thing. I was like, if you don't like Tua, you calling me talking about Super Bowl because he got Tyreek Hill. This is Dolphins fans. These are how Dolphin fans are. So he's screaming Super Bowl. We going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, how you gonna go to the Super Bowl when you don't have a quarterback that could get the ball to Tyreek Hill? Or what are you gonna do just handoff plays the whole game?
You're right.
I mean, I really don't like Tua. I don't think he's a good fit for Miami. Maybe he's a good fit for somebody else, or maybe they just drafted him too high. He's another Alabama quarterback. I mean,
Yeah.
the only one that to me that has done well is your boy in New England, and I think he's going to be even better this season. And he had a pretty good rookie season. Unexpectedly, the New England Patriots were very competitive, and a lot of it had to do with how he was playing. Matt Jones was playing, obviously, rookie year. Playing a lot of games. You're in the pros now. I think the film was out on him late in the season. Teams adjusted a little bit, and he wasn't able to adjust fast enough, and New England just kind of fell off a little bit. But if you're a football fan or anything, you'll be very impressed with. If you was a Patriots fan, you can't be mad about how the season went, because going into the season, you probably thought if I was a Patriots fan going into the season, I'm thinking maybe like 7-8 wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they went out and did a lot better than that. And Matt Jones was a big reason of that. They, defensively, the Patriots always been great on defense, but Matt Jones was doing some things, and he was surprising some people with his ability to play this position that we call NFL starting quarterback. Took care of the ball, made good decisions, and Bill Belichick, for what it's worth, when Tom Brady left now 2 years ago, we thought this process would be long. It is hard to find a quarterback that fast after being so successful for so long with Brady, and then you turn around in just 1 year, you find another dude. That's
Yeah.
scouting. That is doing your homework and not just going after the flash in the pants or the wow or the it factor, the game breaking ability with the trend of the mobile quarterback. My man said, "Listen, I just need a quarterback that's gonna sit in the pocket and make my reads." And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So New England is in a good position. They have a young team and they have a lot of a good mix of veterans and young players. And how long does Belichick continue to coach? Is the question. We thought he would be done the second Tom Brady was said, "I'm retired" or "I'm gone." We thought if that would be it, he wouldn't want to go through a whole nother rebuilding process, but he's proved all us wrong. So
I mean, the fact that the ownership gives him almost free reign, and that allows him to get these championships. So you can't just cast him out right now.
yeah.
But you see how he's stubborn with certain players.
Yeah.
You need at least one good receiver, and he refused to get one.
Yeah.
I think Mac is going to tell him, listen, this stuff y'all been putting out, I can't win with it. And yeah, they just got Devontae, but he always hurt. He's always hurt. Dude is always hurt.
Yeah, he is. He is always hurt, but at the same time, if he can stay healthy, they
Yeah,
got something.
when he's well, he, he's an animal.
Yeah.
But boy, y'all the the staff the staff needs help trying to keep him upright.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, again, in this league, it's about availability. And no matter how good you are, you're only as good as your availability. So
Availability.
at the end of the day, you got to be available and you got to be on the field. No matter how good you are, if you're not on the field, then it's next man up. So
Right.
for New England, I think this is a gamble they're willing to take because they've done so well, making moves. These past few seasons, just rebuilding after Brady has left and keeping the train moving. They can afford to go out and make a move like this because they're sitting so well in all the other areas on the roster. And at the end of the day, it's if it pays off, then you're the smartest man in the world. if it pays off for him. So we'll see, man. I think, I like the move they made. It's a gamble, but what did they have to give up for him? Was it a fifth? Something
Probably
like that?
nothing.
I can't remember. I think it was like uh
Probably nothing.
I'm finna go and look at it right now. That's what we have. Okay, so yeah, it was a 2022 fifth round pick.
Nothing.
Hold on. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Miami Dolphins trade veteran receiver Devontae Parker and a fifth round pick. Oh, they gave up him
Okay.
and a fifth round pick to the Patriots for a 2023 third round. So that's next year. They get a third round pick next year for acquiring Devontae Parker. The Dolphins will get a third round pick next year.
They still won.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they still. Let me make sure I'm reading.
And Parker is probably what, 28, 29?
Yeah. Parker is 29. Yep.
29. Major injury history.
So you think they looking at Parker to come in and be their number one guy, or just?
Yeah, they have to.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But the fact that he doesn't need to be the number one guy, because they have their tight end like Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
And what's the old boy from he was from San Diego.
What was San
Tight
Diego?
end.
San Diego.
Oh man.
San Diego.
I'm bad with games. I'm bad with names right now. But he was supposed to be the next in line with when old boy retired. And
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I'm lost too. It's gonna come to me like tomorrow. I'll be
Yeah.
sitting just not thinking.
They got solid tight end. So they're gonna ease the pain for the tight end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, tight end in today's league, it's very important for a lot of teams to have that solid tight end that can do both, or have multiple tight ends that could go out there and do like a by committee type of rotation, or you can go double tight, or you could do some other things with it. So the more you got in the stable, I think the better off you are as a franchise. So let's go back a little bit to the Buck situation at tight end. All right. So me and you, and for the people that's listening, that's watching the stream on Twitch, a few on Bucks Life that's been tuning in and out. We about to get into a little bit of a conversation here. So many years ago, the Buccaneers drafted this tight end out of Alabama by the name of O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard.
And me and Left Field Correspondent was on the show at that time
Pissed
saying
off.
that was a bad pick. Now, yeah, you all can say, yeah, you can say that now it was a bad pick. Listen, I'm finna throw this link in here. You see that? You see that link down there at the bottom? ratpacksportshow.podbean.com. Go back about five years when we drafted OJ Howard. It'll be a couple shows after the draft when we was on this show talking about the OJ Howard draft pick, and neither one of us liked it. We didn't like it because on the college level he flashed. He didn't show enough consistency, and he had a drop season in college. A ton of potential, and potential gets you what? Fired. At the end of the day, potential gets you fired. And for us, we don't really go off of potential. Now, me and Left Field corresponded and had our debates, very strong debates. But we normally agree 98% of the time on
98.
yeah, 98. Anything Bucks related, football related, whatever it may be, we usually agree because we all see eye to eye. And the Rat Pack, we got like 4, 5, 6 of the greatest minds that there is out there. We just not getting paid for for somebody. Hey, somebody give us a show, pay us a lot of money. We get all us on the round table. Yeah, right. Yeah, look, give me the money. But we do a good job at just breaking down stuff. So we didn't like OJ Howard, and it never panned out. Never. I don't think. I'm trying to think. Was there ever a time during OJ Howard's time here where he had like a stretch of just awesome games?
Probably his first season.
First season?
His
Yeah.
first season, and it wasn't really awesome, but you saw potential.
Yeah. Yeah, and
But
you had Jameis, who was a young quarterback, and I guess the idea was here we have the rookie franchise guy in Jameis at the time, and the tight end again is a quarterback's best friend when they get in trouble. So they was looking at that as kind of being that pairing that they'll be together for a while, but OJ just never blossomed. He never blossomed into anything other than a guy who stayed in the tub and somebody that potentially could be great, but just never came around. So now we're in a situation. OJ Howard's gone. We have Cameron Brate. I like Cameron Brate for what he is, but you need more. For in the passing league, Cameron Brate is more like a possession tight end, a guy you're gonna hit underneath, a lot of check downs. A really good red zone target because he does have really good hands and he catches the ball in traffic, but he's not gonna stretch the field and give you that option you need as a big threat in the passing game, far as vertical. So now, what do we have? Just Cameron Brate. Gronk saying that he's not in football mode right now, so he's not even really made a decision on if he's going to play or not. Even if he does, you still have to go out there and get you a tight end because, as we can see, Gronk is not going to be around that much longer. Brate is what he is, a solid number 2 tight end, and you have a quarterback in Brady that likes to go downfield, stretch the field, and I think it'll take a lot of stress off of Godwin and Evans if you had that guy in the middle of the field. And even Gronk at this stage in his career, he's not as fast as he was in New England, and he's not stretching the field anymore like he was before, which I don't have no problem with because Gronk is still a, a beast when he's on the field because he could do both things in the passing game and the running game. He's just as effective. So I don't mind having Gronk, but being that Gronk is at this stage of his career where he's year after year, contemplating if he wants to continue to play, at that point, I have to look at moving in that direction of life without, Gronkowski. So if I'm the Bucks brass, I'm looking at tight end. This draft is loaded with tight ends. Go and get you one of them, please. Please go and get you one of them. We need a lot, but previously before Grunt came back, we were all sitting up here like, what are we gonna do? We have no quarterback. I was ready for the rebuild. I don't know about you, left field. I was
Yeah,
ready for the rebuild. So
I've been ready for the rebuild.
I didn't care. We got Brady. You were saying it's all or nothing. I was saying, hey, we got to get to at least the Super Bowl for it to be a success. In your eyes, you were saying if we don't win it, it's a bust. So the first year we win the Super Bowl. At that point, everything was worth it. And last season to me was just, if we win it, great. We back to bat. If we don't, I'm good. We won our Super Bowl. So if Brady comes back, he does. If he doesn't, I actually like Kyle Trask at Florida for what he did, for what the weapons he had. I actually like what he did at Florida. So I know, man. I know. So I actually like what he did at Florida. So for me, it was more like, let's give the man a chance. You drafted him high. You got to see what he's gonna be able to do. Brady's retired now, so give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. If it doesn't work, it don't work. Go back to the drawing board. But I was ready. And then Brady comes back like a thief in the night. He takes everybody's heart again, announces that he's returning, and then now it's one more time. Let's do it again. Listen, I'm gonna be real here, folks. We didn't win the Super Bowl this year. Where did we lose at? Second round? Yeah, we lost to the Rams in the second round. So I could go down the list right now, and to me, I could give you a idea of the teams that I think are better than the Bucks right now as we currently construct. This is before the draft. So obviously we will look to improve in the draft. Obviously, these teams that's ahead of us will also look to improve in the draft. So we were 13-4 this year. Can we win 13 games next year? I'm not sure. But what I do know is you have the Packers that, pretty much status quo. I mean, they gave up Adams, but I'm gonna go on record right now to say Green Bay got some up their sleeves. You just don't offload a guy like Adams without a plan in place of bringing in some guys or drafting some guys. But Green Bay know how to play. I think the move that's going to hurt Green Bay more than Adams is, I think, letting Valdez-Scantling go. I think Scantling would have been a guy with Adams not there that could have stepped in and been that guy. But the Rams, Rams are Super Bowl champions, so we can't be better than them until we figure out how to, play defense against the pass. We did make some moves in free agency to go get some safety help. But I ain't necessarily feel like safety help was what we needed. I personally thought we should have went out and got some more corners, but hey, that's just me. That's just me. Left field correspondent, you know how. Hey, listen, folks. Left field correspondent, me and left field correspondent has been proponents for this team to just gut this secondary and
Again.
start over. And start over, man. I'm just being real now. To me, our secondary is not that good. We can go, and I've had a lot of people send me, screenshots of and links of defensive efficiency numbers and all of that, and that sounds good. But defensive efficiency is really a stat that could get mixed up, especially when you're playing like really bad teams. It could look really good. But then against the championship type teams, bro, we ain't stopping nobody. We're not stopping nobody. And we haven't stopped anybody for the last 3 years. And previously before that, under Mike Smith and Lovey, we weren't stopping nobody then. So we're me and left field correspondent, we're talking about, let's see, 3 years under Arians, 5 years under Lovey, and
no, 3 years over Dirk.
Yeah, 3 years of Dirk.
We only had 1 year with Lovey.
1 year with Lovey. Okay, 1 year with Lovey. I think it was 4 years with Dirk Cutter, dude.
Yeah. 4 years.
Lovey was fired after what? The second year?
The second year.
Okay, so yeah, that was 3 years with Dirk. It was 3 years with Dirk. So, and that vanilla ice Swiss cheese defense we had there, and now under Arians,
it's not better. It's not even better.
To me, it's not better because we're not showing up against the teams that have a championship pedigree. So until we start showing up against the teams that's got a championship pedigree, I don't want to hear nobody tell me we got a good defense, because I'm not just looking at numbers. I'm not just looking at numbers. I'm looking at, the tape against the teams that we got to beat to win championships. I don't care about what we do against Detroit. I don't care about what we do against the New York Giants or the Chicago Bears, which we did lose to the Bears, so that's even terrible. The Atlanta Falcons, they're not Carolina Panthers. Those are not championship teams, but we played the Rams twice this past season, lost both of those games. Got beat down. We lose to the Washington Commanders. At the time was the Washington football team. We lose to them. First game of the season, we open up against Dallas and Dak Prescott, and the game lit us up. Every time we faced a formidable opponent, when it came down to the passing game, we did not do well. We gave up a lot of yards and we gave up a lot of points. So, and we lost twice to the New Orleans Saints. And the one game they beat us 36-27. And then they turned around and beat us 9-0. So, and we nearly lost to the Jets. 28-24. That was the Antonio Brown game when my boy threw up the deuces and did jumping jacks going off of the field. So, I mean, we got to be better against the championship teams. And that's what I'm looking at. When I talk about our defense, I am looking at championship defensive championship offensive teams, because when you get in the playoffs, that is what you're going to be faced with. So we'll be in the conversation because we're good enough to be in that conversation, but some teams are going to adjust. All those rumors of Kyler Murray and all that coming to the Bucks, and Arizona Cardinals, a young team that's in San Francisco. They came on so hard late in the season, bruh. You can't overlook them.
No.
That team is serious. That team is a serious contender, and a lot of their losses were very close. They play defense. Left field correspondent, since you here, I'm in as you are. We're in a few Buccaneer groups.
Try to stay away from it.
Yeah, right. My argument was our we don't have a good defense. And somebody responded and said, well, there's no more teams playing good defense in today's NFL because it's a pass happy league. So
That's a lie.
I think we're pretty good. I flat out called them out. I said, you must don't pay attention to the rest of the league, because there's some teams out there that are playing defense, and they're pretty good playing defense. Yard standpoint, points per game. There's about, and this is shocking, but the Buccaneers look like they, yards wise, per game wise, finished maybe like 12th in the league. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13th in yards per game.
And that's not good.
That's still not good. You're giving up 331 yards.
That's terrible.
Per game. Now, the average, the top 10 are at about 329. But here's the difference. Let's go to just passing yards, because that is the difference to me in today's NFL is passing, right? So let's go to the passing wise. Now the Bucks are sitting in the 20s. Overall, yards per game wise, they're up there. But that's because rushing wise, they're at the top of the league rushing.
Right.
So, but passing, stopping the pass, we dropped all the way down to like 21 at 238 yards passing per game. Now, this is where my argument is for people. When I say passing wise, we're not good. This has been my argument. I said our pass defense is trash. I never said our run defense is trash. Buffalo Bills in 17 games only gave up 2,700 yards passing.
The whole season.
The whole season. That is 163 yards per game. Passing.
And a caveat too.
And their best cornerback got hurt like half.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He got hurt like what, for the last 3 or 4 games?
Yeah.
So
so again, folks, when I make these arguments, on the Buccaneers, pass defense, bro, I've already done my homework. I already done enough research to come to the table with this. So you cannot convince me otherwise, because you would be wrong. You would be wrong. Every single last person that says there's no good defense being played in today's NFL, you would be wrong. Okay, number 2, New England Patriots. 87 yards passing per game. There are 4 teams in the NFL that allow under 200 yards passing per game. Bills, Patriots, Bears, Panthers. Right? The next team down, Browns, 49ers, Arizona, Denver, Steelers, Packers, Eagles. That is your top 10. Then you have in 220 yards passing, you would say, okay, well, the Bucks was only 238. But what I'm looking at is this top 10. Bruh, these teams are not giving up nothing. They're not giving up nothing. And that's what I'm looking at. Now, let's go to points. Now, points per game wise, which is shocking because, bruh, we gave up some points. These had to be we're actually 5th in scoring defense at 20.8 per game. That is a shocking number for me because it don't feel like it.
Right.
It does not feel like we just give up 20 points per game. So again, competition. We look at the Bucs schedule and we played the Dolphins, trash. 45-17, Bears 38-3, Giants. These are all inept offenses. Saints, 9 points to the Saints. Panthers, we only gave up 6. That kind of makes it look a little bit better. But we also gave up 36 in the loss, 29 in the loss. We gave up 31 to the Colts, the playoff teams. We gave up 27 to the Bills, playoff team. Let's see. Rams, we gave up 34 to the Rams in week 3, 29 to the Cowboys. These are playoff teams.
Playoff teams, right.
This is my argument. Playoff teams. Playoff teams we don't do well against. I don't care about these lousy teams that we know they're not gonna, they're not a threat at all. But we have to show up against the teams that's gonna be there in the end. The teams that we may possibly have to fight against in that playoff run. That's where we got to show up against. And until we do, I'm gonna continue to say trash. I've been saying that for hey. And that's how I respond to him now. Trash. That's all I say. I don't even get into the debate. I just say trash. Then one guy got mad and called me trash. You're trash. I was like, the defense is trash.
Oh, that look. He's a Brady fan. He has to protect Brady with all costs.
Something, man. Something. So, it's to me, we just try to be real about things. We know there's a lot of fandom going on out there. We know that, people are excited, but
honestly, man, honesty.
Yeah,
they can't be honest.
You got to be honest about things. And another argument that I was super honest about was the day we drafted Chris Godwin. I was on record to say, give me 3 years. 3 years, he's going to be the best receiver on this team.
On his team, right.
That's nothing against Evans, because Evans is a really good receiver, but Godwin does it all.
Exactly.
Evans is limited to, a down
he's
the
a deep threat.
Yeah, he's a deep threat. He's a receiver that we saw at Texas A&M.
Right.
That made Johnny Manziel a number 1 draft pick. Lay it
Busted
out
coverage.
and he go and get it. He's never adjusted to what he could have been. When you look at guys like Fitzgerald, you look at guys like what's the receiver that was in Andre Johnson when he was in Houston. Calvin
Even
Johnson,
Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden. He's never been those guys. He's never been those guys like go across the middle, take a hit, keep on going. Get up, do it again, take another hit, keep on going. I remember one hit Evans took his rookie year. And I think that might have took the life out of him. I'm just
alligator arms.
You remember that Rams game? Remember the Rams game we was playing on at night? It was a home game, and we was going down to tie the game. I think either tie it or win it. And Jameis hit him on a dart going across the middle, and he jumped up to catch it. And when he left the ground, it might have even been Weddle. Was Weddle ever on the Rams?
Was it? It could have been. Yeah, I think so.
It may have been, but whoever that safety was that delivered that hit on Mike Evans, changed him because he's never gone across the middle like that ever again. He laid on the field and time ended up running out because he couldn't get off the field. And has not been I'm not gonna say he's not been the same receiver, but for somebody his size, Michael Irvin, he should be able to Hopkins. I mean, I could go on and on with a list of guys that they just do it all. So that's why I like, Godwin, coming out of Penn State because I had watched him play. And then that bowl game he had, bro, that man, that was one of the best bowl game performances or single game performances that we've ever seen ever.
Right.
Watching a game of football. This dude literally just took the game over. You have almost 300 yards receiving
early.
Like
early.
Almost, let me see. Chris Godwin. What bowl was that? Rose Bowl?
Rose Bowl. Mm-hmm.
So Rose Bowl. So Chris Godwin in this Rose Bowl. This dude was unstoppable. Unstoppable. And I said it then. I was like, you know what? We need him. Because we don't have nothing like that. We don't have nothing like that. Dude was catching the ball. One hand catches going over the middle, jumping over people, mossing them. 9 passes for 187 yards and a pair of touchdowns. One touchdown was 30-yarder, and then another touchdown was 72 yards. You know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you what's funny about.
You're talking about he's slow.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why me and Left Field Correspondent we read each other's mind because this is what I was just about to say. We got fans that said this man is not fast, but yet you go look at his 40 time, and this man ran a 4.3 at his pro day. He just don't open it up because he's doing so much in the middle.
Right.
You can't open it up running in the middle. Everybody can't be freaking Tyreek Hill, man. This man is literally the road runner on the football field. He's at Top Gear. He's road runner. He's Sonic the Hedgehog, all wrapped in one. Dude, only 2 steps, gone.
Gone.
Again, this is why I don't understand how. Who is it? Who did Kansas City beat? Okay, Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Buffalo Bills. You had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. All you had to do was not let Tyreek Hill catch the ball. It's the same thing with the Rams and the Bucks. All you had to do was make sure Cooper Kupp didn't catch the pass, and you called a zero blitz with 30 seconds left in the game, and you allow Cooper Kupp to be 1-on-1 with a safety.
You're gonna lose all day. Look at he's still hurt.
All
Debo,
my life, I've played defense all my life. That one hurt because
you know they looking for your main player.
yes,
You know they looking at the main player.
you know, okay, we need to get we need Jerry Rice to get the ball. We got Deion Sanders on the other side. We trying to get the ball to Rice, and we tell Deion Sanders to go guard somebody else, and you put the number 2 guy on Jerry Rice. That's the kind of stuff that happened in that instance. You knew they trying to go for Cooper Kupp, but yet you put him 1-on-1, zero blitz, and then after the game, this is Bruce Arians. Well, the call we made on the field, somebody didn't get the call right because not everybody came. One person missed the call and didn't blitz. So basically, you supporting the call. I can't get down with that, man.
Your blitz,
down with that.
Your blitz are trash anyway, regardless.
Listen,
you can't even get to the quarterback.
Exactly. So why you gonna blitz anyway when you can't even get to the quarterback? Man, listen. The Buccaneers. See, and this is why. Here we go. Everybody on Bucks Life. This is what we do here. Now we finna get real.
You can find me.
Yeah, right.
I'm on Facebook. You can find me. Carlton Cook.
Yeah. So we have a defense.
I ain't scared.
We got a defense that people say is so great, but yet our blitz packages are so terrible. Man, what is you doing, man? Our blitz packages are so terrible that we're not even getting to the quarterback. So to call that play at that point of the game and not get there, and then you blame, I think it was Levante David. He was supposed to blitz. He didn't blitz. But then you hear Matthew Stafford after the game said he noticed the call before they even snapped the ball because they showed their hand pre-snap. So he already knew where he was going with the ball. It didn't matter who was blitzing at that point.
Thank you.
Because he just got the snap and then he purposely held the ball to give Cooper Kupp enough time to get up to speed and get into that second and third move. And once he hit him with the hint, and your boy fell on the ground, he let it go, man. He let it go. Game over. And all that hard fighting they did to come back for a call like that to be made by an NFL defensive coordinator, bruh, as a defensive person, that hurt. That I was sitting on the couch like, what did I just witness? I know you was, and I know over half the fan base was. Like, you're not gonna ever convince me that that's the proper call to make in that situation. When the goal is to keep everything in front of you. That is not, no, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Now I'm kind of, riled up and stuff because every time I think about that, it's just like, dude, that is the dumbest play call that I've probably ever seen. And we've been on some bad Buccaneer teams, but I've never. This is why I say this defense is live by the die by the blitz. If we don't get there, we're just toast.
And
we're just toast.
The crazy thing is, Mike Smith did the same thing.
Yeah,
He did the same thing. He
yeah.
couldn't even get to the blitz.
Couldn't even get there.
He did the same thing. So we've been dying on the supposed blitz for 7-8 years.
Yeah, and now you guys see why people like me and left field correspondent, we sitting around here, we frustrated, man. We frustrated because our problem ain't just start this year
Right.
or last year or the year before that, bro. We've been saying the same thing about our secondary for probably about 10 years.
Yes.
And
we keep trying to revamp the secondary. You can revamp all you want to. You're not getting the proper players
they try to
for
revamp
your scheme.
they try to revamp the secondary, and basically they bringing in the same players they got rid of. I don't understand that. Jamal Dean, big guy, a lot of speed, get beat on the double move too much. Carlton Davis, not as big, get beat on the double move too much. Sean Murphy Bunton couldn't make it as a number, couldn't make it on the outside as a corner. You try to put him in the slot, can't guard nobody. I mean, I guess you could lead the league in deflections if you get the ball thrown to you a lot, because you ain't quarterbacks picking on you.
Exactly.
Don't necessarily mean that you doing good because you're at the top of the league in deflections, but you're also at the top of the league at being one of the most targeted defensive backs. So, yeah, your pass defense number is gonna be a little bit higher than somebody else that don't have as many targets.
Everybody picking on you, sir.
Yeah. Hey, it's just what it is. So we get closer to this draft. Hopefully we do some good stuff in the draft. I'm not, we don't like Jason Light. Listen, I was on the other network. I'm not gonna say any names because I'm on this network here. But I was on that other place over there at that other place, and I got attacked one day when we was doing a broadcast on location, and this was the day after they extended Jason Light his first extension. So the conversation was, what do you think about Jason Light? And I see y'all sure y'all want me to answer this, because it may not be the answer that you looking for. And it was like, go ahead, man, and answer it. Bruh, it was me and like 3 other people on this panel. And they came at me like a shark on meat because I was, criticizing the general manager. I was like, bro, he ain't good. Listen, everybody in this organization got saved by Tom Brady. Everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody. And then the argument for some people is, well, he had to build a team good enough for Tom Brady to want to be a part of this organization. I say Tom Brady wanted to leave New England. Tom Brady came here to the Bucs because the weapons that he had on offense would allow him to be a championship contender. And that's exactly what happened. We still wasn't doing nothing. We still wasn't that good on defense. What happened to Shaq Barrett? You paid him a ton of money. I told you the 20-something sacks, or however many sacks he had that one year. That was not real because nobody had any tape. And what has he done since then? Maybe like 15 sacks in the last 2 years. He's not doing nothing. JPP, I like the dude. He plays hard. He never comes off the field, but he's done too. He's done too. Sue did well for the time that he was here. I'm gonna be the first to admit I was wrong about Sue. I didn't necessarily like Sue because of his antics that he had before he came here. He proved me wrong. He was a leader in the locker room. He was a leader on that defensive line. He did his job, and there was not one single problem from Sue from the time that he stepped on the field here to now. So, you know, that move worked out for us, but we're an old defense. Our front line is old, and we got to get younger. And I think the best move for the Bucks is to let the young rook get in there, and you got to move on from some of these older veterans, and you got to get faster. You got to get faster. You know, we need some youth. We need some youth, and at the end of the day, we got to get better in coverage. So, last thing, Todd Bowles becoming a head coach was not a surprise to any of us. It shouldn't have been a surprise to any of the fans, because when Bruce Arians came here, he came here with the intention on being here for so long and then having a successor in his place, which we thought was going to be either Todd Bowles or Byron Leftwich. This has already been set up and
Right.
set in motion. So that move did not surprise me. What maybe surprised me was the timing. Maybe I would have thought if he was going to do it, that he would have done it more closer to the end of the season and not now, but whatever. Now, as Todd Bowles as the head coach and the defensive coordinator, I'd rather see him just focus on being the head coach and let somebody else call the defense. That's
I
me
agree.
personally. People can say, "Oh, the Jets was a dumpster fire." Listen, the Jets was a dumpster fire on offense, but the Jets had some good they had some ball players on their defensive side.
They had a top 10 defense when he was there.
They had a top 10 defense on the Todd Bowles with the Jets. They had some players on that defense. That front seven that the
Yes,
Jets
sir.
had was one of the best front sevens in all of football. And
And they had
secondary
a
wasn't
whole
bad
lot of
either.
depth on top of it.
Yeah, and they had a lot of depth. So, but as a head coach, the responsibility change. You got more on your plate, and as a defensive coordinator with the Jets, he struggled on the offensive side of the ball. So at that, I feel like as a head coach, you got to have your hands in everywhere. You're an overseer of the team. You bring in your assistants. You let your assistants work. You oversee the game plans. You oversee everything. So for me, for him to be successful this time around, I was more or less thinking, give up the defensive play calling duties, bring in somebody that can run your same system 3-4, but maybe they got some different ideas, some
Right.
different ways they want to, go about bringing pressure, or maybe they don't rely as much on the blitz and they believe in, coverage, more coverage, bringing four and dropping everybody else in the coverage, playing more zone, and then being strategic about your blitz packages instead of being a team that blitz like 50% of the time. That's what we were this season. We was a team that relied too much on the blitz, and we weren't good in the back end to be able to be blitzing almost 50% of the time. You gotta have a Buffalo Bills type of secondary. They can do it, but we don't have that, and we won't have that for a while, because you got to go and find those guys. You got to go and find the Green Bay was one of the worst pass defenses in the league about 3 years ago, and they got rid of everybody and revamped it. They didn't bring back the same people that was getting torched. They went and they got rid of them, went and drafted, brought in some new meat, some new blood, and then 3 years later, they're one of the top teams in the league stopping the pass the last 2 years. That's how you do it. You can't improve bringing back the same players that's been getting torched. I'm sorry. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. So,
And the stats don't tell too.
no.
The stats tell you what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're at the bottom of the league in defending the pass. So I mean, people, they happy that we brought back, Davis and I wasn't too happy about that. I was ready to move on. I'm ready to move on from everybody in our secondary except for Winfield. And the other guy that I wanted, they let go to the Jets. So I mean, whatever. We'll see though. We got a little bit of time before the draft, so every week we'll come back and we'll dissect and we'll start to get in draft mode here and bring in some mock drafts. William Graves he's the mock draft guy. He loves doing these mock drafts. I don't mess around with these mock drafts. But William, he'll do about 4 of them before the draft. So he'll do some, left field correspondent. Me and him, we're not doing the mock drafts.
Nah, I'm done with that.
Boss Hog, Sean Naylor, he'll jump on the mock draft here and there. And but for us, we're the hands-on observers. So we don't waste time doing mocks. We just tell you what we think gonna happen. And most of the time, it does happen. But sometimes we are wrong. We can be wrong. We're not perfect. We're not
very
perfect.
seldom.
Yeah.
Very seldom.
Hey, I tell people all the time, listen, we don't have sources like, you go to ESPN and Fox Sports and all these networks, and they got, 20 different sources and people that they can go to on the inside of these organizations, and they know everything. How come we always right? How come we're more right than they are? We don't have
look at the tape.
We just look at the tape. I tell everybody all day long, hey, go to the tape. Just go to the tape, man. That's it. Just go to the tape. The eyes in the sky don't lie. Just go to the tape. That's why 1 year I subscribed to the NFL package and I got the all 22 film. So I was able to watch the coaches tape every Monday and see what was happening when you got people in these groups that's saying one thing. I'm trying to tell people this is what the tape is saying. This is the coverage. This is who got beat. This is who made, like I said, I come to the table when I know I got all the facts or at least all the information, and then I'm going to present my argument. So that's how I always been. That's how you are. That's how Boss Hog is. William, Nicholas Lane, Queen of the Rat Pack Terror, everybody. That's what we are. And if you ever get us in the same room together, I guarantee you we'll outdo all these wannabe shows. We'll outdo them all. We'll need. We'll all give us a microphone and just say, you're on the air. I want to see that red light pop up on the screen. We are live. And then they do like this. Go. You're live. Boom. And then just give us a table for like 2-3 hours and just let us go. And then you go turn on Colin Cowherd. But
a whole lot of owners gonna be fired. They gonna be firing their GM.
Yeah. Well, we
lot of like, really?
Hey,
are you sick?
We love what we do. We all do our homework, and this is going on year 9 for us. Year 9. William has been with us for 7. Left Field has been here since the beginning, just about. This is going on year 9, and we are not exaggerating when we say we're right about 90% of the time. Whatever we talking about, 90% of the time, it's even stuff that you guys don't know. Like, we have our own private chat, that we discuss stuff in. Bro, we're like sometimes we be like weeks ahead of what's being reported. We're talking about this stuff in our private chats. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, it's happening. It happens. And then Boss Hog, you, me, all of us saying, man, we've been talking about this for 2 weeks. We ain't got no sources. But yet, it's just common sense, man.
Common sense.
It's just common sense, man. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the show. My man, Left Field Correspondent, y'all see the eye. Y'all see the eye, man. William Graves had to get out of there. My man, Nicholas Lane, NBA Insider, was on earlier with us.
Nicky Bucket.
Talking NBA, and he's going to have his article coming out here with his, I forget the name, Anthony Davis All-Stars, which I suggest everybody check that out when they get posted. We will be back Sunday night, but Sunday night will be Rat Pack Sports Show audio, just streaming only. We won't do this video on Sundays. We do the videos on Wednesdays. So this Sunday we'll be back. You can find us ratpacksports.com. You can download our podcast right there, Rat Pack Sports Show at podbean.com. You can find us on Spotify. You can find our podcast on iHeart as well. And you can find an app. You can download TuneIn, and you can find us there as well. And you can also find us on the Rat Pack Radio WRPR app. So
you can find me. You can find me at Carlton Cook on Facebook, at Venmo, Zelle, or Cash App.
This man. This man say Venmo, Zelle, or Cash App. This man, that man needs donations, man. He's trying to get back to Florida. Oh boy.
Things for the poor.
Oh boy. All right, man. Hey, Left Field, I love you, brother.
Family. Love you too, brother.
We will see y'all next Wednesday night. Until then, y'all take care. This is the Rat Pack Sports Show, man. We're signing out. We will see y'all on the flip side. Peace.